So now that you've done Gravy, the documentary, are you going to consider doing Gravy, the feature film, and maybe get Peter Ustinov to play him?
Okay, this is a true story. Walking through a blizzard in New Haven, Noel Coward kissed me on the mouth and said, "Pizza!" Sorry, man. But, you know, there are worse things than being taken for Peter Ustinov. One of the great. I looked much more like him in my earlier, as you noticed in the early part of the film.
Outside of rehearsing for the last 74 years, how long did it take to make a picture, the whole movie? It's been, was it a year in production? Or?
10 years to make the movie. The first shoot was in 1999. It was over a period of 10 years. I live in New York, and Wavy and Johanna live in Berkeley, and then up in Laytonville where the camp is. So, but I'd say the last 4 years was full on. And I mean, David is my producing partner. We're independent filmmakers. Right now we're distributing this film on our own, and if you like this film, if you think it's important to get out into the world, you're our advertisers right now, and we would ask you to email everyone you know, tell people to come see the film this weekend. It's playing here for a week. It's playing in Berkeley at the Shattuck for a week, and the industry is watching to see if this film is going to do good and if it will have a life. It really depends on this week. So if you could help us out and let people know, please go see this movie. It will have a life, and we would really appreciate you being our advertisers.
Michael Healy, come here, take these cards. Okay. And give them to people that want them. He's very good at getting the word out.
Somebody else have a question?
Yeah, I have a question real quick I wanted to ask you before somebody else does. Can you give us a website that people here can go to and
yes, you can
research? And then if you folks will send that along as a link. And one of the things that I did, I wanted to interject real quickly.
Misbehavin.com.
I worked at the Regency. I've worked in the music business for 35 years. At the Regency, I went out while people were in line, and this is the first time I've done this. I don't use computers, but I asked everybody to pull their phone out and email their friends and neighbors and encourage them to come to the movie and ask them to send the message along. What I'm getting to is my rationale for doing that to complete strangers in this particular situation. It was a double dead show with Dark Star Orchestra, but it could have been anybody, really. What I told people was, Wavy and Johanna gave us 40 years of their lives. We can give 4 minutes of ours to make this a reality, because this is a reality for all of us. It's somewhat similar to renaming Speedway Meadow for Chet Helms. If we rename Speedway Meadow for Chet Helms, we're renaming it for everybody in this theater. If we're advertising and allowing people to realize how cool this whole notion is and how it's influenced all of us and our lives, same thing. I kind of got lost there, but I think you know what I mean.
Our website is Misbehavin with no G.com, and that's the website. And we are on Facebook, Saint Misbehavin, the Wavy Gravy movie.
Has it been nominated for any awards yet?
We just did 16 film festivals, and we won many awards, and mostly audience awards, which we're most proud of. Yeah.
Yeah, I just love the film, and I hope it gets seen by everybody my age to reinvigorate them, and I hope it gets seen by people that are younger too, which is really important. I live in San Luis Obispo, or as Wavy calls it, San Luis Obispo. I'm the chiropractor that you came down to help do a show in 1985, and you did such a great job for us. Thank you. And you cover so many aspects of this multidimensional person and beautiful person, but there's one aspect which I didn't hear, and I would like Wavy to speak to what he feels about how Lord Buckley might have influenced him.
Lord Richard Buckley. the first big event that Johanna and I tried to do was the Lord Richard Buckley Memorial Sunset, where we scored Moonfire Mountain, and it rained and we called up the sunset. Then I went up there in the mud and the rain, and the minute I got there, the rain stopped and there was a beautiful sunset, and Lord Buckley did his part and I didn't even show up. I was so embarrassed. So from now on in my life, whenever I'm saying I'm going to be somewhere and do something, I don't care if just I show up, I'm still going to be there. And 10 people show up, that's great, and I'm richer for it. So, and that's all in the Something Good for a Change book, too, that whole story.
Have the mainstream media paid any attention? I didn't see any. Maybe I was zooming through, but did the Chronicle give this a review?
Yeah, we got the little man clapping. We got a huge thing. Did you get the paper?
I got it, but I got
And yesterday, in the ovation, we got a maybe 2-page spread, and today we got a full
Article.
Flat House article, and the little man is up, awake, and in his chair and clapping vigorously.
I just learned about the little guy clapping because I'm from New York. He was we walked in from a full day of doing press, and Johanna said, the little man is sitting up in the chair, he's clapping. I go, what? What are you talking about? And he goes, really? She's like, yeah, he's sitting up clapping. And they're talking about, what are you guys talking about? So they explain the whole little guy. Sometimes he's asleep, and sometimes he's clapping. It's just very good.
He's gone in an empty chair.
So, let's see, yes.
Wonderful job, and congratulations, Wavy, and everyone. And there's so much, obviously. One is, when's the sequel? But the family dynamic's really great, and, you know, talking about Jordan, how they do good, truck stuff, Gravy. And I'm just curious, you know, way back, you talked about the early days in Greenwich Village and being a poet, but how did you become a poet there, Wavy, your early days? Did you grow up in Princeton and Einstein? And
But this is really hilarious. I was in the theater school at Boston University. They had the finest theater school in the world at one particular juncture, and there I was, and I happened to crack a Time magazine, and I saw they were doing this jazz and poetry in San Francisco. And I said,
What was the date on the Time magazine so I can look it up?
I said, I could do that. I could write a poem. I know some musicians. And we started jazz and poetry on the East Coast. We were the first ones to do it. On Huntington Avenue, there was this pizza place in the basement of a bar called The Rock, and the pizza place was called the Pebble in the Rock, and the kids from the museum school made mobiles and put black tablecloths down, and we did jazz and poetry, and I discovered that not only could I do it a little bit, it just poured out of me, and now it's just a haiku usually when somebody croaks, but they're pretty good haikus. When Kesey croaked, I wrote, they say Kesey's dead, but never trust a prankster, even underground. And they published it in the Rolling Stone, but left the butt out, so I wrote a letter to Jan Winter. Jan, have you seen my butt? And they had to republish the whole haiku with the butt intact.
Anybody see Rolling Stone this week?
No.
Page 80, Wavy is topless.
Topless. My man boobs are magnificent.
We created the, I told Wavy and Johanna and us if we could create an award in his name called the Wavy Gravy Basic Human Needs Award, and they said it would be okay. And I said we wanted to use it to honor people in every community that we screen in who are being of service, who are putting their good where it does the most, as Ken Kesey told Wavy. So at this screening, I learned about this organization called Muttville on actually Wavy's Facebook page. I saw that Wavy had said there's this dog that Muttville finds homes for elderly dogs and senior citizen dogs. And Wavy put a call out on his Facebook page for this dog needed a home desperately. And by the end of the day, the power of Facebook, this dog had the most beautiful home. And so I started reading about this organization, Muttville, and they do beautiful work. And I wanted, and Sherry is here who is the founder of Muttville and is going to come up and accept this award. And Wavy's putting a necklace, and on one side is the labyrinth from Wavy's camp. And the other side says the Wavy Gravy Basic Human Needs Award. Can you tell us a little bit about Muttville?
Sure. First of all, I'm really honored because, I mean, it's people like you that started the whole thing. What we do, and I feel very blessed because I found something that I love to do that also helps people and helps animals. And we basically rescue senior dogs from shelters that would be killed because of their age, and really just because of their age. And we find them great homes, and we find them homes for a lot of senior humans, too. So we're not only, we're like paying it forward to, from the dog to the human, and making life better for everybody that's involved, including me. So it's an honor to get this, and it's an honor to do what I do, and I hope everybody finds the passion that I have in this that helps people, and I hope that everybody else finds stuff like this to do that makes them feel this good. So, thank you. Thank you.
That's the key, is to find out what lights up for you and do it. And do it and do it and do it, and it will get done. Because, like we say in the hog farm, them that does it is it. And does everything. My guru, Ralph Edwards, nobody remembers that. He had a show called Truth or Consequence.
What show are we going to be on tomorrow?
What show? Oh, we're going to be on West Coast Live tomorrow at 10 a.m. We got to be there. Let's go to bed.